not sure what is going on. I'm not sure what is going on. Okay. Oh, I think I know what it is. I'm not sure what is going on. I got it. That was it. We were playing on a different screen, and so there was like a delay, and then the music coming through, and it was freaking me out. And okay, we're good. All right. Welcome to Rewriting Reality. And my reality just got rewritten a lot in the last little while. I had no idea what was going on, but we're good. We're back. We had Jackie Cote here last month, who was a member of the Manifestation Squad. And this month we have Catharine O'Leary, who will be on in just a second as well. So for those people who have not been on this show, this is where we have a lot of fun. I bring on guests and we learn a little bit about those guests, and then they coach me for about 15 minutes on their particular skill. And I take that and I do my best to implement that into my life and my business. Then I coach them through energetic magic, and we shift some reality for them. And then if there's time at the end, we'll take some questions and maybe do some shifting for people in the audience. Today, we do have a hard stop at 4 p.m. Eastern because this is a crazy day for me and I have to see a client right at 4 o'clock. So as much as Catharine and I can go on and on and on, we got to cut it short today. So without further ado, let's bring up the quiz queen herself, Catharine O'Leary.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going, Catharine?
It's going well, thank you. And your reality got a little weird there.
It did. I didn't know how much the audience is hearing the echo of what I'm hearing versus just me, and it was freaking me out.
So. Welcome to entrepreneurship, where nothing ever goes the way you meant it to.
Okay. Well, right. Let's. Are you willing to step out of that story, Catharine?
Yes. Oh, we're starting with me first. Okay.
We're not supposed to, but I'd like some things to go the way I want them to go.
Right. That is your story.
It's yeah. Well, it's never happened before. I think it has something to do with you. You're bringing in a story of I don't know.
Am I winning? I never win. I never win in these stories. Not when I'm up against the master.
Okay. Well, we'll see, because once I get coached by you today, I should be winning. So before we do that, though, you call yourself the Quiz Queen.
I
do. So,
Catharine,
what the hell is that, and how did you come to be the Quiz Queen?
Yeah, well, I didn't grow up wanting to be the quiz queen. I wanted to be the Wolf of Wall Street. So I went to business school and I went into corporate, and I actually was in market research and consumer insights for corporate for the last 3 decades, working with the Fortune 100. Basically, what I was doing was asking clients or asking customers what they wanted, what they needed, what they're struggling with, to help corporations then either build products and services to meet those needs, or create marketing messaging, or maybe some bundling opportunities. When I worked at Pepsi, there was a lot around the Super Bowl and around July 1st weekends and Memorial Day, American Independence Day. And so on, what bundles need to be going together, what chips with what pop, and so on. And those are the kinds of questions that we could ask consumers what they wanted, and then help corporations actually, figure out how to deliver that, those services and those offers. One of the things that when I left corporate, after 30 years of doing that with Apple and Pepsi and others, and I started to work with entrepreneurs, I realized that we weren't asking a lot of questions. We were going straight in for the sales. So we would talk about, a problem or the problem that our clients were having, but we go straight to the solution. And we wouldn't really ask questions and talk about, well, where are you at and what are you struggling with? And, there are nuances and questions that, were never asked. And it felt, for me, it felt very kind of salesy, very odd, almost creepy. It's almost like proposing marriage on the first date. It didn't feel right. And what I wanted to bring forth, and what I found when I started to realize that that's what I was doing in my own business, and it wasn't working well at all, and it wasn't feeling good, was that I wasn't asking those questions. So how could I bring in, you know, asking those questions and getting a little bit more of a conversation and a relationship started before going to a solution? And that's when I found quizzes. And with my background, I realized this was a very strong lead attraction system, that I could help entrepreneurs actually create and then put it into their businesses, so that they were learning a little bit more about what their consumers wanted and needed, and positioning themselves and their businesses to actually meet those needs right away, um, without making it seem very salesy and so on.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, consumers don't like salesy conversations.
Well, it comes off inauthentic sometimes.
Mhm.
You don't always. I mean, it's maybe a little bit heroic to think that you know the solution to everyone's problem within 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's usually 6 or 7.
It's usually 6 or 7. Yeah, maybe 60 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now you ask the right questions.
Yeah. So depending on who I'm helping, on the entrepreneur that I'm helping, um, we work through understanding that 3 a.m. problem that your clients are having. So, Shiraz, if you and I were working together, it would be, what's the 3 a.m. problem that your clients wake up in the middle of the night, struggling with? That kind of night sweats. Oh my God, I wish I could have more revenue, or, you know, that's not what they say. They probably wake up saying, I need more clients, or, I want more money. I want more sales in my business. And then how can we turn that into a conversation starter? So, like, how do you unlock the secrets to consistent revenue for your business, or discover the keys to to unlocking your success story, or when it comes to revenue generation, something along those lines. And then taking those clients then through a little bit of a journey. So they go through, what are they currently at? What's their status? What are they struggling with? Maybe what do they have in place, and what do they aspire to be? And by asking questions like that, so you're getting to know them by where they're at now, what systems or processes they might have in place. You're getting, you're getting to better understand where they're struggling, and you're understanding, and so are they, what they aspire to. So they're realizing that there's a gap, and so do you. And then you're able to then go in and fill in that gap a little bit. So you're able to offer some tips and some tricks to start off with. So like that first step, hey, here's a couple of things that you can do right off to create consistent revenue in your business, for example. Maybe it's mindset, maybe it's systems, maybe it's the marketing strategy, whatever that looks like. But the cherry on top, if you will, of the quiz system and as a client attraction system is that invitation to that next step. So you're getting a second date, so you're able to invite them for, if you want to learn more, to your webinar, your masterclass, your one-on-one call, whatever that looks like for you, or for the group that you want to be talking to. And it can be, slightly different if you have people that maybe should go to the audios instead of getting on your calendar, and you can kind of customize things like that. Does that make sense?
It does, but I would like a little more specifics.
Okay.
So, give me an example of a client you worked with where this technique just shifted their business in a big way.
Yeah. So there was one of my clients, Linda. She was actually creating a masterclass around limiting beliefs and barriers to women entrepreneurs. And we created a quiz called "What's Stopping You from Being Unstoppable?" and we took them through a series of questions that, played up a little bit of fun, where we asked them, if you're at a party, who are you most likely to be? Are you the host? Are you the entertainer? Are you the wallflower? Maybe you're the bouncer. Or, if your best friend was to describe you, would they describe you as the life of the party? Would they describe you as the person that, sits by themselves at the beach or in reads? And through a series of those questions, we were able to say, okay, what's stopping you, or some of your personality traits. If you were, say, a fire, she was doing it on elements. So if you're a fire, you're hot and spicy and you're always going, but sometimes that doesn't connect as well to your clients because you're going too fast for them or you're leaving them behind. Here's a couple of things that you can do to make sure that you are aligned with your clients. And if you want to learn more, I have this masterclass, which then sold into her mastermind. And that was how she was able to fill her mastermind up with her 10 people that she wanted.
So it sounds like with the quizzes, it's not just like you're taking a quiz. It feels more like a gamification of the quiz. That sounded like a fun quiz. That sounded like something I would want to take. Am I a fire?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you kind of get to write your own reality, if you will.
Okay.
You kind of you get to create the universe that you want to take people into. So if you have so for example, you have a coaching business for recovery coaches, maybe you want to talk about all your coaches' superpowers, right? So what is your coaching superpower? And then you can take them through and say, okay, like my friends always say that I'm empathetic, or like that I can put myself in other people's shoes, and so on. So depending on what we do is we marry that 3 a.m. problem or that 3 a.m. desire, or even wish, to your end result, to your offer. And we connect those two with a series of questions that lets people go through a little bit of a journey, a little bit of a quest, to get to that end point. And you get to create that. So every question that you ask and every way that you frame it, and even the answers that you give people, give them, a kind of a pathway through the through that journey.
So if I'm up at 3 a.m. trying to figure out a problem and I can't, I usually end up in a bunch of Reddit quizzes anyway. And so you're like, well, why not just take this one that actually helps solve your problem?
Well, and leads somewhere, right? Okay. Like it actually is it's a business builder. It's a way to triple your leads and to double your conversions, because you're actually only talking to your best clients, right? Because so the 3 a.m. problem that you want to solve.
Let's go back. I want to hear those numbers again. What your leads and what your conversions?
So when you concentrate on your best clients and you solve their 3 a.m. problem, you can triple your leads and you can double your sales because you're getting qualified leads.
Whoa. Okay.
So it's all about the qualifications. So when you are asking those questions that only apply or should only apply to your 3 a.m. to your ideal clients and their 3 a.m. problem, everyone else should just be like, I don't care about that. Like, I don't like that doesn't like consistent revenue. I've got a job. I've got consistent revenue. Great. Don't take the quiz. That's awesome. I love it when people don't take my quiz. They're not my people. I don't want them on my calendar. I don't want them in my funnel. I don't want them in my list, because they're somebody else's people, and that's awesome. But they're, I want my ideal clients in my system.
Okay. Yep. No, that makes total sense. So, and I guess because with a lot of people, they're just like, get a whole bunch of people in your funnel, and you're like, no, don't get the right people in your funnel.
Well, I mean, think of yourself in a stadium of 10,000 people, and there are 100 people that are ready to buy your offer.
Yeah.
Right. You got to find those 100 people. That's going to take a long time. Even if you do find them, right? Wouldn't you rather be in a room of 110 people with those same 100 people?
It'd be a lot easier to find.
Right? So, narrow, like everyone gets a little squirmish when we say narrow your focus, but if you narrow your focus right down to your ideal clients, that means they're ready to buy. There's no convincing, there's no cajoling, there's no like, let me discount this for you. Like your best clients are ready, they're ready for you and they're willing to buy from you and they're just waiting to find you. So help them find you.
Okay. I like this. So then, in the case of my business, what can you do for me? Here's where we get to the coaching segment of the show.
Coaching. This is the hand-to-hand combat. I mean, the coaching segment of the show.
Yes, this is it.
So with your business, and from what I understand, and we've had conversations, just to be fair, the 3 a.m. problem that your ideal clients are currently struggling with is, and if I'm understanding it correctly, it's really unlocking that secret to consistent revenue, is it not?
Yeah, because they'll have like an $8,000 or maybe even like a $15,000 month, and then suddenly there's a $2,000 month.
Right.
And overall, it's still making high 5 or even 6 figures a year, but you get a $2,000 month, and you're like, what the hell, right?
Right. So you could go straight ahead with a quiz around how do you unlock, like, what's the key to consistent revenue, or what's how to discover the secret to your success story for consistent revenue. Mm-hmm. Or you could take it a different way and say like how do I get off the roller coaster of the revenue roller coaster, and then make it all about I'm on the up and down roller coaster, or I'm on the loop-de-loop roller coaster, or I'm on the roller coaster that spins and that's all it does, I'm just spinning. And you can kind of tailor your solutions to say, okay, how you stop spinning is this way, how you get consistent, like to smooth out the ups and downs, is this way. They might be all ways, like, so if you have, say, 4 outcomes, they might be all in your program, like the solution to all 4 might be in your program, but where somebody is right now is I'm in the up and down phase, whereas Jackie might be in the spinning phase, right? We're both ready for your program, but you need to talk to me about the ups and downs. You need to talk to her about the spinning. You're meeting us where we're at and what we are most what we need to hear most, and what we're most focused on, to be able to help us to that next step.
So would the quiz be linear, or would it branch out?
It can branch out.
Okay, because like if you're an up and down and she's a spinny, then once we find out you're an up and down, there'd be different questions than what she would get with the spinny questions.
Well, certainly there'll be different different priorities. So certainly the results that I would get would be tailored to talking about being up and down and what the challenges that an entrepreneur facing that, hot and cold again revenue faces, and what you can help them with doing that. Everyone goes to the next step of a one-on-one call, let's just say, right? And then Jackie with the spinny, okay, this is what, like, people that are entrepreneurs that are challenged with like just this hamster wheel or just this spinning, this is what you're, what you can do to get off the spinning and get off the wheel. And here's what we can do in this program, and here's the link to the one-on-one call. The quiz may or may not have the branching logic in that to do that, but it can. Most quizzes are fairly straightforward and branch off just one question, but you can make that more dynamic if it's necessary.
Okay. So I think then the first thing on the quiz would be, what's the name of the quiz that makes people actually want to click on it?
Yeah, what's that? And again, it's that how do you take that 3 a.m. problem and turn it into a question that you can answer,
Okay.
right? At the end of the quiz. So that 3 a.m. problem is consistent revenue. Okay, so how do I get off the revenue roller coaster? Or like what's the number one thing I need to do to get off the revenue roller coaster?
Okay.
And then, it's okay, tell me about your business, tell me about, your your structure maybe, tell me about your income levels, tell me what you're struggling with, tell me what you're aspiring to. Oh, okay, you're struggling with, the ups and downs or you're just spinning in place. Then let's talk about the ups and downs. So Catherine goes to the ups and downs, Jackie goes to the spinning, and Monique might, go to the plateau and then the steep drop and then, having to come back up. I don't know. I'm making it
I'm just picturing that roller coaster. It's like,
up.
okay. So so here's this just popped into my head.
Mhm.
What if during the course of the quiz they answer a question that automatically disqualifies them as a client? Do you still want them to go through the whole quiz for that quiz experience, and then what happens to them after that?
So ideally, because the 3 a.m. client is, or the 3 a.m. question and the problem that you're solving is only for your ideal clients, everyone should be able to answer every question,
Okay.
because you should only get your ideal clients in there. If they aren't ideal and they can't answer it, they should drop off. And that means that they're not your client. And that's brilliant.
So they'll just
That's
stop
awesome.
taking the quiz like in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to worry because they'll just be like, no, it's not me. I'm done.
It won't so once they go through the quiz, then you can
Yep.
say, "Oh, your results are in, and for me to send them to you, I need your email address." That's when you capture their email address. You capture it after they've actually taken all the quiz questions.
Okay.
And then you give them the results after that. So
Okay.
you're getting micro commitments up to that point,
Yeah.
so that you are actually, they're kind of like they're even more opted in than just an opt-in.
Because they spent all that time
All
answering
60
questions.
seconds. Yeah.
Okay, wait. You just said 60 seconds?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so how long is a typical quiz? Is it a 1 minute quiz? Is it
Yeah.
designed to be that short, or can we be like here's some really involved questions and it's like 10 minutes?
Depends on what you're trying to do. For lead generation questions, so lead attraction, I would say 5 to 8 questions, which is about 60 seconds.
Okay, wow. I thought it was going to be a lot more involved than that.
No. You can
Oh,
get what you need in 8 questions. Any more than that, you're probably repeating yourself, or you're
okay.
asking questions that you really don't need the answer to. So it's like $1,000,000 real estate. Think of the most expensive real estate you live in Toronto, so think of the Bridle Path
Yeah.
real estate, right? Most expensive real estate is every single question is worth that much. The most expensive house in the Bridle Path,
Okay.
right? So every single question has an intention. There's a reason for it.
Okay.
And you only need what you need. So you can't ask the kitchen sink. This is not intended to be an intake form. You can develop something like that later for it, lower in your funnel, if you will. If you
Mhm.
wanted an intake quiz or survey, or you wanted something else, an assessment, you could do that later. But we're talking right now about kind of that client attraction. That
Yep.
client attraction needs to be quick. I mean, we've got less attention spans than a goldfish right now. So, goldfish has 8 seconds, we have 7. You got less than 7 seconds to catch our attention.
So from this, what I'm getting is it's going to be a lot more like those Reddit quizzes where it's multiple choice or yes,
Mhm.
no. There's not going to be any write a paragraph on what you would like to have happen in your life or anything like that.
You could have, I mean, I often see as the last question in the quiz, you
Yep.
know, if what would your life a year from now be if you were over this struggle? And just let them add what they want. You get what you get. I mean, people tend not to spend a lot of time on that, but you can get some nuggets and you can get some marketing insight into that for
Okay.
sure. But I wouldn't like bank on it per se.
Okay. This suddenly sounds a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, the trick is to first of all figure out what your universe wants to look like,
Yeah.
right? So, kind of what that, that question needs to be and those outcomes. Like if you're going to do something fun like a roller coaster, then what are the roller coaster types? Or maybe it's superpower, or maybe it's, the number one thing stopping you, or a barrier. Maybe it's a key. Maybe you can have different keys. Like, you have the no fear key, or the invincibility key. I don't know, I'm making it up, but
Okay.
you could do any of those things. I mean, I often tell my clients that it's kind of like being like J.K. Rowling, where she wrote Harry Potter, and all the kids that went to Hogwarts were the witches and wizards. That's your target audience. Everyone in the school is your target audience. But once they got there, they ended up in one of 4 houses.
Yeah.
Right? Based on characteristics and based on what they need. Right? Those are your outcomes. You get to be J.K. Rowling and create whatever, universe that you want. She created Hogwarts and Gryffindor and Slytherin and so on. But what you create might be roller coasters and keys or something along those lines.
Okay. So I have to come up with that concept, because, like you said, roller coasters. I was already locked onto roller coasters. I guess we're doing roller coasters, but there's...
it can be quests. It could be book titles. It could be what character are you, or what celebrity are you, or it can be as straight ahead as what's the number one thing stopping you from consistent revenue, and it could be your time, like your perception of time, or your reality of time.
So I could actually like go into my book, and I have the section on where is it, archetypes. So we could do a quiz and find out: are you a underdog? Are you a giver? Are you a celebrity? And find
how many of those do you have?
Well, I wouldn't use all of them because there's like 15.
But you could use, I'd keep it to 3 to 5 because that's manageable for you. But yeah, you could use any of those.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because then that still stays within what I've already written, what people are familiar with. Well, people that know me, they're familiar with, but other people will now get familiar with.
Well, and it's cool because then you can use that in your marketing, right? So, like you can start your summits or your speaking engagements with, like a lot of us are underdogs, and I know that X% of my people, like my community, are underdogs, and that means this and this. Are you an underdog? Do you know? Would you like to know? Okay. This is how you find out.
I like it. Okay, we've got the people watching are now talking to each other. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are here for this. So this is great, because it's this combination of, you really got to dig deep for what you want to ask and be clear on the message and the path you want to go through. But for them, it's really simple because you've got it laid out, and then they just self-select them in or out of your program.
They self-select in or out of the program, but they also self-select. It's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy what outcome they come into.
Yeah.
So quizzes are taken from front to back.
Yeah.
They're created from back to front, right? Okay. So you start with your offer, and then you start kind of reverse engineering things, right?
Okay.
So that you can, the 3 a.m. question is, so I'm going to talk about this consistent revenue. There are millions of ways to talk about how to get to consistent revenue. How do I want to play with this? What do I already have in my toolkit? And you have the book. So how can I use these personas of underdog and pleaser and, that kind of thing? What 3 a.m. question could I craft that would capture this idea of consistent revenue and give them a sense that they might end up in like a type. So what's your, what's your not revenue type, but what's your maybe it's what's your revenue superpower, or what's your money superpower.
Ooh, a money superpower. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people would like a money superpower.
Right? Who wouldn't want to take that? What's your money superpower? I don't know, but I want to.
Okay, yeah. So just the thought that I might have a money superpower I'm completely unaware of, and this quiz is going to find it for me.
And then what you can do is tap that superpower and say, okay, this is great. This is a superpower. Where you might be challenged with in business, though, is like where, the flip side, some of the challenges that you might have are this, and this. This is what I can help you with. We're going to leverage the fact that you have this superpower, and we're going to shore up the things that you're not so, that aren't your zone of genius, which is totally fair, in order to create, both sides of the coin so that you can make all the money that you want. Abundance is yours.
Okay, cool. So now, would I only need one quiz, or would I have a quiz that qualifies him to a certain place and then another quiz that takes him to another, like for me, I have like the different energetic magic programs to help people shift, but I also have like a teaching series.
Mm-hmm.
So would I use one quiz to get them in and then find out, or are you going to be someone that needs just to work on, or do you want to become a practitioner and the quiz sorts that out? Or
so you're asking if one quiz rules them all?
Yes, does one quiz rule them all?
It depends. So the mindset that they're going through, like the frame of reference that you're putting them through in the context, is that the same when you're talking about whether or not they're trying to learn their money superpower versus whether or not they want to teach how people can get money superpowers or something like that. My guess would be that that's the teaching side is probably a follow-up conversation. May not be a quiz. It may be more of a follow-up, it might be more of an upsell to a current program.
Okay, got it.
But what you can do, because I know your product lineup is that, some people might be more ready for the audios, right? So depending on how they get typed and their outcomes, you might have an outcome that just makes sense for them to go to the audios because that's where they need to start. Versus, sign up here for the monthly magic or get on a call with me to discuss some one-on-one conversations. And you can ask them in the quiz about, what have you done in the past to heighten your money abundance skill set, something along those lines. I've taken all the courses, I've done all the things, I'm ready to go all in. You can kind of get a commitment sense with a question to then be able to follow up with.
Okay, got it. So these guys are having a good time in the chat here. And if you have any questions for Catharine about getting your ideal clients and the type of questions and quizzes you might want to implement, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll let those build up while we move on to the next segment where Catharine gets coached. Now, the problem with this segment is that we just did a session like 3 hours ago. So I'm not sure what's left to shift today, but we can look at it.
Yeah, that's a good question. What is left? Because we actually just got off the phone.
Yeah, a really great session this afternoon.
It was what was interesting about the session this afternoon was that, we have been working together for a few months now, and I am always surprised that how sneaky the gremlins are, and how it seems like the same topic is coming up with just different wording, different phrasing. And for me, and I can share this with the people out there, for me, I have some sort of a hero's complex where I have to, really struggle in order to receive the money, because if I don't struggle, it doesn't feel like it's going to be real and I'm not going to keep it. And that just keeps coming up. So it's something that we've had to kind of shift a couple of times, and it comes up slightly different language each time, but it seems to be an underlying theme. So I guess I'm addicted to that.
So this is where we look at that Jenga tower.
Yeah.
In that we pull out a block, but there's another block that's very similar to shifter. There's another block that's very similar to that block, but it's labeled a slightly different way, but it's still a block in there. So we got to keep pulling block after block until that whole tower just falls apart. So it's so it's interesting because it is very, very similar things. But every now and then there's a question that comes up where it's just like, that seems like a really weird question to ask, and yet there's so much energy behind it that it's just surprising. So, all right. So, is there anything else that you can think of that you'd like to shift? And not necessarily looking at we were looking at money earlier, but we could look at different aspects.
Pardon me?
We could look at different aspects of your business or your life. Or we keep going on money, because I know the audience likes it when we clear money blocks, but whatever you're ready for.
Yeah, money blocks are the big. They're so tied to everything else. That's the thing. So I guess what I'd like to be more open to different ways to deliver offers and programs. So unique and innovative ways, instead of just what's being taught by, one or two gurus.
Okay. That's interesting. So, although it's interesting what you're asking for, is what's being taught, does what's being taught work?
So not always.
Okay. So it feels like you're asking for this because what you're seeing isn't good enough.
It's not the results that I would have wanted.
Okay. So do you ever get the results you want?
Yes.
That's interesting, because that didn't come up completely true. Even though you look very sincere with that yes.
Not 100% of the time, I guess.
Okay. When you get the results you want, do you get to keep them?
No.
Okay. So there's the block there. Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that when you get the results you want, you don't get to keep them?
Yes.
Okay. And I think the other one was related to that from the other side, though. Are you willing to step out of the story that it's better not to get the results you want so it doesn't hurt when you lose them?
Yes, I'm willing to step out of that story.
Okay. Okay. So let's go back to the original question. Do you want a new way to do an offer that no one's doing?
I want a way that works.
Okay. So depending on where your energy is, anything can work.
Yeah.
Right. So when we get clear on it, you may come up with something that no one's ever done before, and it's just going to work for you. but it might also result in you're doing what you were doing before, but now that everything's all unblocked, everything just starts to work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen people where like they go up and they do something that you think is completely insane. You're like, that worked? I'm like, yeah, that worked. And then you go do the exact same thing. It's like, that didn't work.
That didn't work.
So, okay. So does what works for others just not work for you?
Yeah, it comes up as yes.
Okay, so that's an issue. So are you willing to step out of the story that what works for other people just doesn't work for you?
Yes.
Oh, and I forgot to say for people that may be watching this for the first time, when people's energy shifts around me, I tend to yawn and cough. So that's what's happening right now.
I already knew that.
You knew that, but I've had people come to my old YouTube videos before I put that disclaimer at the front. They're like, "This guy needs a cough drop." So, ooh, okay. Wow. Is it okay for you to succeed easily and in big ways when other people are using the same techniques and not doing that?
Ooh. I want to say yes, but I'm feeling resistance.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I know that some of the people watching are feeling that same resistance. So it's this whole thing about being fair, right? It's just like if I use these same techniques and my business is just blowing up and it's so much easier. Number one, are they going to hate me? And number two, is it fair to them because they're trying so hard? And you just got to let whatever happens, or you'll restrict your income, your success, your money flow, like everything. So, are you willing to step out of the story that it's not okay for you to succeed in big ways and easily where other people are having problems?
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, you weren't the only one with that one. Oh, so much energy. Oh my God.
I don't think that's just me.
Oh, oh my gosh. Here's the thing, energy doesn't care about time and space. So when we do these clearings now, it's not just you and the people that are watching now. The energy of the people that are going to watch it in the future for watch the YouTube recording, I'm picking up on that too. And there's all these people that are just like, oh, wow, no, it doesn't feel fair. And it's just like I'll feel bad and like looking at these people as they're struggling and I'm doing so well and it's so easy. And oh, okay. Let it all go, people. Let it all go.
I'm trying. Yep. I mean, I did.
You did. Okay. Yeah, and this comes back to the struggle that you get addicted to. It does Is that struggle just something everyone has to go through?
That sort of feels like a yes.
Yeah.
Like it's a rite of passage or something. Like you got to
Yeah,
pay your dues.
exactly. Okay, and that's all just crap. Right? So
Yeah, it really is. It totally is. Just crap.
because there are people that they put on this planet, everything's provided for them, they never have to do anything, their life goes great, and you may have judgments about them, but if you have judgments about them, you'll try to make sure you're not ever them, which means there's struggle. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to go through struggle as a rite of passage?
Yes.
And here's the thing, even if that were true, I'm pretty sure you passed that rite of passage a while back.
I agree.
You're just extending it at this point.
Yes. I think everyone has. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are you willing to step out of the story that each new endeavor, each new project, each new goal needs its own struggle and rite of passage?
Yes.
Okay. How does that feel?
Feel that I felt that. That feels that feels shifting.
Nice. Okay. If you're shifting in the audience, let us know in the chat. I'm hoping we got some shifts out of Sacred Gen Secrets here. Oh, okay. Is anything else coming up?
The only thing that might be coming up is a little bit of what we talked about this earlier, but being allowed is the word that just came out of my mouth. Being allowed to have the expensive resources that I want to employ.
Okay.
So the mentors and in the the high ticket offers that I want to be in, am I overreaching?
Oh, okay. Who decides whether or not you're allowed to have those?
I have no idea. I don't know why that word came out.
Yeah.
It's a strong word. I would not usually use it.
Yeah, but it's not actually uncommon for belief systems. So, okay, so are you willing to step out of the story that you're not allowed to have access to those expensive resources?
Yes.
Okay. This just came up. Are you allowed to make money just for the sake of making money?
Yes.
Okay, that's mostly true. There's something in there, though. Does making money have to have a purpose?
Feels like yes.
Okay. So this also goes to where the money goes away, because if you're making money for a purpose, then the money gets used up in that purpose. But if you're making money and it can be for a purpose, or it can be just so it sits in the bank, and it can be just for for fun, then you get to have all this extra money that you get to play with. So are you, ouch, some people really don't like that. Feeling so much resistance. No, it's got to have a purpose. Okay. Are you willing to, ow.
I don't think it's me.
It's not you. It's not you. Okay. There's a lot of people get attached to their life's purpose, and I've got to do everything from my purpose. And so this concept just is disruptive to that. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make, every bit of money you make has to be for a specific purpose?
Yes, I'm willing to step out of that story.
Ooh. Okay. I'm just stopping now. Most of yeah. See. Okay, these are the shifts. Yep. And oh, there we go. Okay. Ooh, yeah, that was a big one. Not so much for you. There was in you for you, but like for the people in general, that divine purpose, that life purpose becomes so important for people. Okay. All right. How you doing?
I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So then I'm hearing a slight echo and I don't know where it's coming from. We are almost at the end of time. And as I said, we've got a hard stop at the top of the hour. So before we hit the top of the hour, Catherine, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Just simply go to www.catharineoleary.com, which is CATHARINEOLEARY.com. And you can schedule a call there if you'd like to discuss more with me about quizzes and all things fun and innovative in marketing strategies.
So I have to ask this. I've never actually gone to your website. If they go to CatharineO'Leary.com, will they be presented with a quiz?
You know what? My quiz is on a different site. Okay. That's quizformybiz.com.
Okay, quizformybiz.com.
Yes.
So CatharineO'Leary.com and quizformybiz.com. Check out those sites, and you can take a quiz and find out if working with Catherine, well, not if, how working with Catherine can get you. Give me those numbers again. 3 times the leads and twice the
triple
revenue.
Your leads and double your sales.
Oh my God. Okay. I mean, if you'd like three times the leads and twice the sales, throw a yes in the chat.
It's all about qualified. It's all about making sure your room only holds your 3 a.m. clients.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just went, when you said that, you sort of said it so matter of factly. And I'm like, wait.
Back the bus up. Wait, what did you just say? You never told me that before.
If you said it before, it went right over my head. Yes, they definitely want this. Okay. All right. And next month, we have Monique McDonald.
Ooh, you got the trifecta.
I know. I got the whole Manifestation Squad first 3 months of the year. And Monique McDonald is a Grammy-nominated, award-winning singer and voice coach. And so she's going to be voice coaching me next month. And
I'm tuning in for that one, man.
Okay, I've got that smooth voice that could just.
You got the radio voice, yeah. You got that smooth, yeah.
But see, Monique's gonna take it to the next level.
Oh yeah.
Because we still got the yeses coming. This is the thing when we're streaming to YouTube, that by the time it gets there and they put the answer and it gets back to us, it's like 2-3 minutes after we've asked the question. Okay.
Morgan Freeman, I love that. Yes, Breakthrough Show Network, I agree.
Okay.
Listen to him read the phone book. Yep. No, there's no phone book anymore, but
I'll do the narration of people's lives.
There you go.
Right. Catherine walked out into the yard and saw the snow, turned around and walked right back in the house.
And it was Dallas, and she was mad because it's warmer in Toronto.
Yes, that was crazy that we looked at the temperatures in Dallas and it was colder there than it was here.
Yes. Oh, we were not happy.
No, that's not why we go south. Okay. So I think that's it. Oh, one other announcement. The Wealthy Healers Conference is happening April 13th to 15th. If you are interested in attending, I can even send things. There we go. Wealthyhealers.com. Tickets are not on sale, but you can put your name in and get the pre-orders for the tickets. It's going to be so much fun. And we've got panels. We've got hot seats for business makeovers. We've got lunch and learns. We've got workshops. And Lisa Brewer and myself will be doing energy work on the attendees to get you into a higher wealth setting. That's coming up. And I have to talk to Jessica because I can see her there in the chat about speaking on that event again, like you did last time. You better be there. Okay, so that's it. Any final words for the audience, Catherine, before we head
out? Don't guess, just ask.
Don't guess, just ask. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
So we are heading out, and hopefully I won't get that crazy echo because I've turned off that other page. As we go out. Thank you so much for being on Rewriting Reality. We have a lot more stuff coming up with the Breakthrough Show this week. So check up on the breakthroughshownetwork.com for more fun and events. And Divine DNA's in the house. And I lost a little chat. There's some more comments coming in. Sacred Gin Secrets in the house. And Shawnee's in the house. Hey, Shawnee. And oh yeah, and then okay. There we go. She's going to be there. She's going to be at the conference. And Divine DNA. Divine DNA, are you on this week? I did not check the schedule. Are you on this week? Give us a shout out.
It's me.
It's me. So I'm going to give them just a little bit more time because we got 3 minutes left before I go to the outro music thingy that echoed me and freaked me out.
We're stretching.
I just want to see if they're on because I forgot to actually I'm supposed to have the schedule and say, hey, this is what's going on. But here's me being inefficient because it's always a month between, and I forget after a month. So I might have to go to twice a month just so that I remember stuff. Oh, okay, here we go. Breakthrough Show in Scotland on Friday.
Ooh.
Breakthrough Show has gone international and goes to different countries all the time now. So tune in Friday at 1:00 Eastern, unless things have changed. And Jessica's going to be doing the Scotland show. Dun, dun, dun. All right. We are out of here. Thank you so much. See you again on the 4th Monday of next month, whatever the hell. It's going to be the same date, the 27th of next month, because it's a February.
There you go.
That made it so easy. All right. Bye, guys.